Remembering the World Wars in Britain, the history and legacy of British commemorations and their social memory of the conflicts. Written by Charles River editors. Narrated by Daniel Houle. Introduction. Good morning, the general said, when we met him last week on our way to the line. Now the soldiers he smiled at are most of them dead, and were cursing his staff for incompetent swine. Here's a cheery old card, grunted Harry to Jack, as they slogged up to Arras with rifle and pack, but he did for them both by his plan of attack. Siegfried Sassoon, the General, 1918. World War I, also known in its time as the, quote, Great War, or the, quote, War to End All Wars, was an unprecedented holocaust in terms of its sheer scale. Fought by men who hailed from all corners of the globe, it saw millions of soldiers do battle in brutal assaults of attrition which dragged on for months, with little to no respite. Tens of millions of artillery shells and untold hundreds of millions of rifle and machine gun bullets were fired in a conflict that demonstrated man's capacity to kill each other on a heretofore unprecedented scale. And as always, such a war brought about technological innovation at a rate that made the boom of the Industrial Revolution seem stagnant. Since the Industrial Revolution, arms and material output had increased by orders of magnitude, as had the quality and uniformity of the products. Several developments had already taken place in the years building up to the conflict, stepping stones towards the vast escalation in military innovation which took place immediately prior to and during World War I. Chief among these was the innovation of smokeless gunpowder, which took place concurrently among several powers between 1890 and 1905. This was a crucial development, as it eliminated the literal, quote, fog of war, which in vast quantities obscured the battlefield entirely, and on an individual level both gave away the position of marksmen and made it impossible for them to fire accurately unless they moved away from their own smoke cloud. Further innovations included the adoption into service of the first belt-fed machine guns, predecessors of those which would wreak such slaughter.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?